An executive producer's statements on why Tracker is losing Bobby and Velma suggest the hit CBS show might be moving in the right direction, despite initial fan backlash to news of the characters' departures. Not only is there reason to doubt that their exits will be permanent, but they may even benefit Tracker Season 3's story in the long run. Fans were none too happy to learn that Eric Gray's Bobby Exley and Abby McKinnon's Velma Bruin would be leaving Tracker's main cast, particularly since Velma and Bobby carry the bulk of the series' diversity representation on their shoulders. But it's their reasons for departing that suggest Bobby and Velma leaving Tracker will improve the show in several key ways. Bobby and Velma's whereabouts in Tracker Season 3, explained they were both leaving for positive character reasons. Copyright symbol CBS, courtesy Moverstills DB. Not many details were provided when Tracker's cast exits were first announced, causing speculation as to why the actors left and how their characters would be written out of the show. Fortunately, Tracker showrunner Elwood Reed reveals that Velma's leaving to join her wife while Bobby's pursuing his own positive gains. And that's not the only good news Reed had. The best news here is obviously that the show's leaving a pathway open for both characters to return, but it's also nice to know they won't be written off by a throwaway line. Furthermore, if they don't return, both characters will have left Tracker to achieve happy endings. There was a time it seemed this might not be the case. Bobby's Tracker Season 2 absence sparked concerns that, despite his cousin Randy's reassurance that he was away on a family matter, there could be a larger story brewing in the shadows. He turned out to have simply been attending a funeral, and his underwhelming return failed to spark additional storylines for his character. Additionally, Randy's continued presence rendered Bobby redundant. Meanwhile, Robin Wagett's Teddy Bruin left Tracker for good that same season. She was also explained as being out of town for family reasons, in this case to help out her mother. Sadly, however, Reed suggested at the time that Teddy and Velma were going through a separation. Velma's departure, while unfortunate, at least means the couple will be reunited. How Bobby and Velma's Tracker Season 3 exits will affect the story. Renee and Randy are set for a major status quo change. Copyright symbol CBS, courtesy Moverstills DB. Since Tracker never had a particularly large cast to begin with, it was obvious from the beginning that Randy and Renee will now have to play larger roles in light of Bobby and Velma's absences. Reed spoke to expand on this matter as well, and he teased what could actually be some rather meaningful character changes. As he tells TV Line, essentially, it sounds like Reed wants to use Renee's office as something of a hub for Tracker's side stories. Not only could this generate new stories, it can also streamline storytelling overall. Tracker Season 2 felt somewhat disconnected with its cast consistently in 3 different places, but Reed notes Randy joining Renee allows for their plotlines to intersect more organically. He isn't wrong. Tracker Season 2 contained multiple episodes in which having to set plots in action by passing information through characters in 3 separate locations caused the story flow to feel somewhat clunky. Season 3 should be able to avoid that problem while creating stronger roles for Tracker's support characters, which Reed cites as another goal of these changes. Reed certainly enunciates Renee as the core component of his evil plan, but he makes a great point about Randy as well. Although certainly an entertaining character, Randy hasn't been established long enough to have had many of his own stories. He now gets more of a chance to shine, and that's just the first of many improvements to come. Why Tracker Season 3's evil plan for Velma and Bobby's exits is actually great news. The show will only get better while awaiting their possible return. Aside from strengthening Randy and Renee's stories, Tracker Season 3's new direction will benefit its protagonist as well. Coulter Shaw's personal relationships in Tracker haven't been as developed as they might be, but having fewer characters to interact with can naturally push Shaw and his team to become closer. Season 3 of May already begin with a rare Tracker love triangle. Expanding the team's roles will also help maintain momentum throughout episodes between those addressing the ever-thickening Ashton-Shaw plotline. Renee had her own through-line in Season 2, but Tracker can now unite its side characters for shared multi-episodic story arcs. Even if that possibility existed before, it's now much easier to consolidate such types of stories. There's a benefit on the production side of things as well. Randy and Renee working from the same office means that Tracker can save on location spending to allocate more budget toward Coulter's adventures. The series has already delivered plenty of action-packed and suspenseful plotlines, but those episodes can now widen their potential scope for the sake of extra thrills.